Could the NFL actually open up their eyes now? I mean, some of these owners and GMs open up their eyes. Eric Bieniemy is a great coach. He is going to be a great NFL coach. Ask Patrick Mahomes how he feels about his team and that offense this year. And Nagy, I don't want to hear about Nagy. Nagy is so overrated as an offensive coordinator. He completely choked in Chicago, and he goes back over there kissing because he was the reason why Patrick Mahomes was drafted. Give me a break. Nagy belongs in Patrick Mahomes' rear end, okay? That's about it. He should be licking, cleaning, whatever the hell it is over there so he can get another job in the NFL as a head coach. He's never going to get one, and anybody that believes it. Josh McDaniels, it took him, 10 years to do that? I mean, seriously, it's just horrible. But nevertheless, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think Washington's a team that could absolutely. Harris is a guy that has deep pockets, and he'd give Jim Harbaugh whatever he wanted.
Yeah, I mean, if you want an open book type of situation, maybe it is Washington, which needs to make a huge splash. I mean, a lot of people forget that college coaches get paid more than NFL coaches. And the college job is also way, way harder. Not on a week-to-week basis in terms of coaching in-game and beating other opponents. NFL is unmatched. It's extremely difficult. But college is truly a year-round coaching game, especially now. Recruiting, transfer portal, NIL. It's almost impossible. I tweet all the time. I call college football a hellscape. It is, and it's only going to get worse. These coaches, many of them, not all of them, many of them don't want to be there. If NFL jobs come calling for them, they will be taking them. Simple as that. Harbaugh, though, he might be that one exception just because it's Michigan, just because it's his alma mater, and just because he's finally had success. Maybe the other exception would be Kirby Smart at Georgia for the same reasons.
Yeah, but what about Harbaugh, regardless of if he leaves for the NFL or not? What do you think will end up being next for Michigan? What these other sanctions that could possibly go down? And also new teams coming over to the Big Ten. Are they going to be that same level of a powerhouse, you think?
Yeah, I think Michigan has taken the stance of F you, okay, so what are you going to do to us? You're going to give us a couple violations? Fine, we'll deal with them and we'll keep going. We support Harbaugh. He's our guy. He's going to win us the title. And if he leaves and those, anything comes down next year, they'll deal with it because guess what? They just won their first national title since 1997. That's where they wanted to get back to. And he's also set up the program extremely well. Don't forget, he was suspended 6 games this year. They won all 6 games, most of them in dominant fashion, right? So they have Sharon Moore who's sitting there, and I don't know that he would get the job if Harbaugh leaves, but he has 4 wins with that team this year. They love him. They support him. It would make a lot of sense. What was the second part of that question? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, the outlook of new teams coming into the Big Ten. Do you think there'll be more parity because of that? It'll be tougher?
I mean, if Harbaugh leaves, sure. It's always difficult when there's that 2-headed monster on top of a conference, which Michigan and Ohio State have been for the Big Ten for so long. I mean, look at Penn State, a legit program, legit coach, talented players, but they are a far distant number 3 to Michigan and Ohio State. So you got all these other programs coming in, and it's okay, Oregon, you had a lot of success. Washington, you've had a lot of success recently. USC is USC and UCLA is UCLA. But are they going to just jump right into the Big Ten and be on top of the league? Maybe. Maybe the current incarnation of Oregon under Dan Lanning could do that. But Dan Lanning, by the time we talk next, or by the time you guys do a show Monday, he could be Alabama's coach. So what happens to Oregon when that happens, right? And what happens to their ability to contend in the Big Ten? So I think that they are bringing in significant programs, and they will compete and they will win Big Ten titles and have success. Will that happen immediately in 2024? I don't think so.
Kirby Smart is a guy that a lot of people believe should take that Alabama job. He comes from the Alabama regime. He comes from Nick Saban. He's the mastermind of that Georgia Bulldog team. Do you believe that somehow the Alabama Crimson Tide prize Georgia's and their coaching and their superstar coach, Kirby Smart, away to coach the Alabama Crimson Tide?
No.
There's no chance.
No
chance.
His alma mater. He loves it. He's built it into the next Alabama in many ways. And Alabama is a lure for, most coaches. That they can pretty much have their pick, but there's a couple who they don't have their pick from, and Kirby Smart is one of them. It's not that, look, if Georgia was in a different spot, if he didn't get along with the administration, if he struggled to bring in transfers because of academic requirements, then I would say, you know what, maybe it's possible.